Hi, everyone. I'm the Dynamite Doll, and you're watching episode number 20 of Dirt with the Doll. Today's guest is the strongest man in the world, a former professional wrestler, powerlifter, and actor, Ted Arcidi. Welcome to the Dollhouse. How are you today?
How are my doll children?
Yes, we're all doing
Good,
well.
good, good. You get a great program. I heard so much about it, and I'm glad I hooked up with you at the
Yeah,
signing there, the '80s
the
deal.
80s Wrestling Con. It was
Yeah. So this is good. It's
it was
good.
a pleasure.
I love doing these things. I do a lot of them because I love reconnecting with the wrestlers, the actors, guys that were in the weightlifting business, powerlifters and stuff.
Yeah.
And it's just a great thing. I just got Facebook too. My agent put me on Facebook.
Oh,
And
you're new to
I don't know
Facebook.
how to do that. Yeah, and it's good because I didn't realize how much people look at that and they connect with you. So it's
Very
good.
much. Yeah, you're
Yeah.
going to be busy now replying to messages and
Well, yeah, I'm gonna
doing
keep as
interviews.
much going and getting back to the people with the Reebok as much as I can because I just feel like I owe it to people because they paid all this money to see me and stuff, and
Yeah.
um, that's the least you can do.
Absolutely. So, where did you grow up? Let's take it back to where it all started.
Yeah,
Did you
yeah, yeah, yeah. Grew up in Buffalo, New York. I was born there, and then I moved to Concord, Mass. That's where I did most of my settling when I grew up, and played all sports. Concentrated a lot in hockey, though. I was good in hockey, and I thought I was going to be a pro hockey player. But when I got into lifting for hockey, it just kind of took over because I wanted to become a real good defenseman. And as you know, Canadian, to be a
Yes.
defenseman, you got to cover the net, you got to work the corners, you got to fight out the puck, you got to be very, very tough. And the coach back then told me, you want to make it to the next level, you gotta train with weights, you got to put the body weight on, and I did that.
Yeah.
And and that's when I just loved lifting more, because when I was lifting with my friends, football players and stuff, I was at the gym one day, and this is like in the '80s, and I saw late '70s actually, and I saw a notation, a thing on the wall on a bench press meet, like a powerlifting meet, but just the bench press. And I had a decent bench press. Um, I was only training with weights for like, I don't know, 3, 4 months, and I got up to like a 315 pound bench, which is good because I only weighed like 160, 170.
Okay.
And so at that time, I entered a bench meet, which is like, I weighed about 220 then. And that's 1980. And I ended up benching 440 pounds and getting a second place in New England. So it was like, wow, this is unbelievable. And then I was getting write ups about and Strength and Health and these other magazines. And I said, screw hockey. I
Yeah.
love lifting,
You're getting all this attention. How could you
Yeah,
not?
yeah, yeah. It was more like that too. Cause I mean, I busted my ass playing hockey and stuff.
Yeah.
And I never got so much attention from that as I did with powerlifting and bench press.
Right. Well,
So
powerlifting is just you, not a team like on
yeah,
hockey.
yeah, it's like boxing. I
Yeah.
kind of like committed myself like a boxer. And I think I got the discipline for training for hockey. I carried that over into weightlifting, into powerlifting, into benching, and it worked out well because I just ate, drank, and slept benching, lifting, and entered more powerlifting contests. Won the collegiates. Then I got invited to the World International Championships in Hawaii, and that's where I set my first world record
Yeah.
in in 80, let me see, 83, and that was unbelievable. I mean, because that's like all of a sudden I'm with world class lifters. I'm a
Yeah.
United States powerlifting team, and I'm thinking, shit, this is a ride. I love this shit, and I love lifting.
Yeah.
And I met a lot of good people, and then I got invited the next year where I did an amazing amount of weight in my weight class at 275. I did 650 for one rep, which is great. And then I did a 666 weighing, oh God, the following year, waiting at like, I don't know, 281 or something, which is unbelievable. and I did it for like 3 reps. I had to do 1 rep, and it didn't get past because the bar went up cockeyed, and then he allowed me 3 minutes rest just to go for it again. And I got it up, and it still went up cockeyed, so it was very strict, the judging, so they didn't allow it. And then they said, we'll give you one more attempt, a fourth attempt for a world record. And I just went nuts, and I blasted it up. It went up slow, but I blasted, and the place went shithouse. And that was 666 in 1984 at the Hawaiian International Powerlifting Championships. So yeah, that was phenomenal. And I got invited back because I knew, and a lot of people knew, this was on NBC Sports too. I think it was NBC Sports, one of the big stations. And they knew that I was going to be the first man to go for 700 pounds. So there's a lot of pressure there too. So the next year, I trained my ass off. That following year,
Yeah.
and I got the world record. I became the first man to bench press 700 pounds. And that opened up so many doors for me.
Yeah.
Because I was in the magazine covers, I was in the fitness magazines and the articles and stuff. And little did I know that this is right after WrestleMania 1. And Vince follows muscle training and stuff like this. He was a big guy himself.
Yeah.
And, so he was following my career. And I got a call from him. And he wanted me to come down and talk to him about getting in the WWE. And this is March of '85. Yeah. And I went down there, and I brought the articles. I sent, he goes, I know all about you. He goes, you don't have to give me the articles. Everybody knows who you are. And he says, I'd like you to, if you want, we'll train you. And you go to wrestling school, wrestling camp, and we'll see how you do. I can't make promises, he says, but we'll see how you do, as long as I'll give you opportunity. And that's what McMahon did. He gave me opportunity. So I went to wrestling camp, and this is the same time that Kenny Patera, he was a big, strong guy back then, but he was in the can because he ended up getting in a fight on the highway with at a McDonald's with Saito, and they get kicked out. It's called the Big Mac attack. I don't know if you remember that.
No.
Your mother
Sounds
probably
like all the
does. Yeah.
time.
Well, he was hungry after a match, and he was going in to get something to eat. And the guy, the kid, the wimp at McDonald's, he closed the gate, he closed the door, and they were throwing all this food out. And he had he was starving. He said, no, don't throw it out. I want it. So I think he broke the door down with him, and they went in and they took the hamburgers, but the cops came, and the filet of fish, and the cops came, and they arrested him because, I guess he assaulted them. He
Oh,
assaulted.
geez.
Yeah.
He was a
So
little bit angry.
yeah. But that made a lot of publicity too. That was crazy. And it gave me the opening to get into McMahon as the world's strongest man. So that
Wow.
timing is everything. And
Absolutely.
yeah, I went to wrestling school. He wanted me. I think I'm the only wrestler that's gone to the WWF with such little training. I was only there for like 5-6 months training. And
Yeah, because
Vince
you were in
wanted me.
WrestleMania too, right?
I was in WrestleMania
Yeah.
too. Yeah.
You were already in there, and by the
It
next
was
WrestleMania.
amazing. Yeah. So Vince was like, the guys on the road were like working with me, and I got to the point where I had a good match under my belt. I started out as a baby face, and that's what Vince wanted. I wanted to be a heel, but Vince says, you got to start as a face, and we're going to push you, and just keep working at it and stuff like that. And lo and behold, I worked myself up to like a TV main event with John Studd
Yes.
at the Boston Garden. I was in WrestleMania 2. They had the doll too. All this in like 6 fucking months.
I know.
No other wrestler has
No.
done that much in 6
No.
months. I didn't work in another territory, so there was some animosity with some of the other boys that I
Yeah.
got in there. But I said, "Fuck you! You go bench 700 pounds, and then we'll see."
Then we'll talk.
So that worked out well. That worked out really well. And then I ended up training to be a heel at your grandfather's territory.
Yeah, Stampede
Yeah.
Wrestling.
I had a nice stint there, and I learned a lot from him and the other guys up there. Learning how to be a heel. My promos became unbelievably great. My wrestling became great, and then I was ready to go back to Vince, but Vince didn't want me. I said, "Well, I got to get back on TV, man, because I'm a heel now, and I love it. I want to keep the exposure." So I
Yeah.
went down to the Von Erichs, and with Fritz Von Erich, he had me go down there, and I had to prove myself in a dark match. He says, "Ted, I've never seen you wrestle as a heel before. I've seen you wrestle as a face, but a lot of time has gone by. We want to see if he can still cut it." So I did a dark match with him, and it was against, who the hell was it? Cousin Luke, one of the hillbillies, and we had a great match. We went back and forth, and I just was clobbering him with my clothesline, jumping off the rope with the elbow over the head. It was good, and went back and forth because as you know, with wrestling, you got to sell. If it doesn't sell, it looks like shit. They don't
Yeah.
care how strong you are. That's the whole name of the game. You got to be able to sell, make you come back, and then kill the guy. And it was good. And so this is shit. This is like almost a year in the business. Not even a year in the business. When I was with Fritz Von Erich, I got the fucking belt, the Texas heavyweight belt. I had a manager. I had all my promos and stuff. So it was unbelievable. It was like I think it's the biggest ride I had as a wrestler in the business the first year. I can't think of anyone.
Yeah.
Even your dad and his guys. They
Yeah.
always worked the territory 3-4 years before they got called to New York. So I am always grateful to McMahon and to Fritz Von Erich, their family, for giving me that shot, because it's unheard of, man. It really is unheard of.
Yeah, looking back at your career and just kind of getting ready for this interview, you've had a multi-fascinating career,
Yeah,
not just one lane, which I think is super cool. You were able to
yeah,
branch out to different areas, which you're still
yeah.
doing to this day. Fitness is still a part of your life.
Oh yeah, yeah, yeah. I
So,
mean, talent is sexy, right?
absolutely. It'll
So
get
I
you
got into
a
acting. Yeah, I got into acting. Shit, 97, I think, because I had left wrestling and I started my own vitamin order business, like protein supplements, stuff you take to gain weight, bodybuilding supplements. And I had my catalog. That was my business mind, because I had gone to college
Yeah.
and I knew about biology and medical science and stuff, because that's another chapter. I was going to be a dentist, but I got
Yes.
the ride with the wrestling, and that's another thing. But
Any regrets there? Do you wish you did take that path to become a
no,
dentist? No.
God, no. Looking in a fucking mouth, screw that. No,
Look at
I'm
your
glad
20.
what I did, and I love my dad. God rest his soul,
Yeah. But
because
he was a dentist. Your mom was a nurse.
yeah, yeah, my dad became an orthodontist after a dentist, and I went to Norwich University up in Vermont, and I had a PE degree and a minor in biology. And I remember him telling me, he goes, you're not going to make a lot of money. It's very political becoming a teacher, and he says, why don't you take a year off? And this was like 1982. He says, take a year off, uh, apply to dental school, and take the courses, all the prerequisites. So I was in like prerequisite classes with med students and stuff,
Yeah.
so I can get what they call in America your DAT test, dental admission test. It's like a law test, but for medical. So I ended up getting into like a bunch of universities, Tufts University, NYU, Georgetown, Marquette. I get all, because I applied myself. I ended up really plugging hard and stuff while I was still training for world records. And I got into dental school, and I lasted like just the first semester. Not, yeah, maybe the first semester, because the powerlifting took over, because I wanted to go for 700 pounds in the bench. And it broke my heart. And I told my dad, listen, I'll go back. I got to get this, because
Yeah.
now's the time.
Mhm.
And then he thought, okay, go for the record. You got to get back to school there, but take a leave of absence. But deep down, he knew I would never go back. And especially after I set the world record, it's in all the papers and the news and stuff. He saw the thing. It was a big article in the Boston Globe, front page of the Boston Globe, that I was going to sign with the WWE at the time. And I had it. I had it. You know those old message machines, you know, you hear the tone, you talk after the beep. I had the
Yep.
message from my dad in my apartment. He says, I just saw the Globe. I just saw the Boston Herald. So now you want to join this circus, this wrestling?
Yes.
He goes, well, if you do that, you're out. You're out. I'm disconnecting the lines. Do not call us. Not call because he was hurt, you know, and
Yeah.
that it felt bad too because you know he put so much money up. It costs a lot of
Yeah.
money to go to
Yeah.
dental
Were you
school.
not able to get money back when you pulled out of
No,
the?
no,
Oh,
I
that's
blew it, you know, but I think I blew it for the right reason. But he still didn't understand, and we
yeah.
weren't talking for a while.
Yeah.
Shit. Uh, Probably a year.
Oh,
Yeah, about
he's
a
not
year.
so bad.
And then he saw me on TV, and then we started talking and stuff. But I mean, the rest of my family did. But it
Yeah.
was
So
something
you
I
have
had.
a lot of siblings as well. Where do you
Yeah,
land in the
I got
order?
kind of like you guys.
Yeah. There's
Um, Roman Catholic. I came one of 7 kids, and you got one of 13, right?
no, no. You're thinking
I
Brett.
mean,
Brett comes from 12.
your dad's 12. Yeah, your mom. Yeah.
Yeah, but there's 5 of us. There's 3 from my mom and dad, and then my mom had 2 more after her second marriage. So I'm the oldest of 5.
So is your mom still married?
She no, well, she has a longtime partner. They're not married, but
Yeah,
they're
yeah.
common law.
Well, good for her. Good for
Yeah.
her. Are you guys
But
still
where are you
close?
in the order? Are you
I'm in the middle, man.
you're right in
Yeah,
the middle?
yeah, yeah. So I kind of learned
And a
from
lot of boys?
3 other boys and 3 other girls.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, so 4 and 3. Yeah, and they're all like, "This is why I'm such an oddity. I'm such an anomaly, Braun. I'm the only one that got into sports and into sports professionally. The rest of my family, I
I
mean,
saw
they
you
played
post one of your
basketball.
brothers as a doctor.
Right, right. He's a cardiologist.
Yeah.
Yeah. And I got a brother who's a lawyer, an attorney. The girls, they were married to dentists. They became dental
Wow.
hygienists. I mean, yeah, it's crazy. My younger brother, he's a film editor. And
Well, that's helpful for you.
yeah, yeah. And Philip's the architect too. So yeah, I'm like in the middle, but it worked out well. And that's the beauty of my dad, though, because you get a picture. This is a guy who's the son of an immigrant, okay, from Sicily. And he doesn't what he doesn't know and he didn't know and no one knew back then. How can you make money being a wrestler or a weightlifter, a professional weightlifter? You know, you're not gonna. It was considered lowbrow,
Yeah,
and so that's the beauty of the guy because he wanted me to have what he had, even better than you know
of
getting
course.
into dental school, becoming a doctor like him. So yeah, he became my biggest fan after that. Though I mean, it was great. And then he saw what I did with my supplement company, and I bought the
So, I mean,
building.
you've done so much, it didn't just end at wrestling or
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Because I use that exposure because I worked for Muscle and Fitness magazine, Joe Weider, and I had my vitamin company. We were in a lot of GNCs. I get GNCs up your way, right?
yeah,
Yeah. So my protein powder, we were like worldwide. I made a shitload of money with that, and gave me the affordability to end up buying this building with my dad. And now I'm into commercial real estate. It's a 190,000 square foot building, a mill building,
wow,
and
it's
it's right on
incredible.
the Merrimack River in Manchester. And I got my store here too, Weightlifters Warehouse, which is cool. So yeah, it's funny how everything pivots off and is conjunction that's attributed to something else I did,
Yeah,
or
one
some
door
kind of.
opens another.
It all started with the bench press, Braun. The
Yeah,
bench press world records, 275 pound, but the big one, 705, getting drafted into the wrestling with Vince McMahon and Fritz von Erich, getting all that TV exposure, and then using my degree, my mental acuity in coming up with sports nutrition products, protein powders, amino acids, and selling that under my name, not just like a company, because I'm the
yeah,
real deal. I took this
yeah,
shit. It works for me. It worked for you. So I used to do demonstrations and lifting exhibitions at the malls there. And that's where I headed over these other vitamin companies, these other protein companies, supplement companies, because they wanted me to go down because of all the exposure I had on TV and all over the world. I would do a lifting demonstration and talk about the supplements. And I would go to all malls all over the country. And they put me in because of that, because that's different than anyone else. No one else has done something like that.
So were
Yeah.
you a hot commodity at the time with the females when you had this world record?
Oh yeah, yeah. Well, yeah, I kept it in check though, because you can lose it all, man.
Absolutely.
Especially with the getting to that level with the weightlifting. I just ate and
And
drank
you
it.
were super young then too, right? You're still
Yeah,
what, early 20s?
early 20s. Yeah, when I
Wow.
said that. Yeah.
So at such a young age, where did that motivation come from?
I think
Just, I
it came
guess,
from my
hockey?
family, my
Yeah,
dad, from the hockey too, though. Yeah,
yeah,
and a lot has to do with the work ethics. Yeah, I
exactly. A
guess
lot
you
of
can
kids
call
don't
it
have that today.
simple work ethics. I think a lot of it, and I tell people this too, and they believe me after I tell them, the kids today, and I'm not trying to generalize, but this is just what I see. They don't got it, man. They
No,
don't got it.
I know.
When it comes to acting, they don't got the deep down character like the really good actors have. But especially the athletics, very very rare do they do it. It's because they have a great mother and a great father that's persistent and very forward in their morals and ethics and in their training and making sure that they do it, define the goals, and make sure they follow through. They have
Yeah.
to have responsibility. But I think the big thing is, Brian, at an early age, I started working at a boatyard in the fifth grade. And that
Wow.
was the best thing for me. My dad pushed me. I had a boat on the Concord River, and it was a boatyard called the Southbridge Boathouse. And my dad, I had my boat there. I had a couple boats there that I bought myself because I used to cut lawns and all that stuff. And he says, "Why don't you try to get a job down there?" Here I am in the fifth grade. I go, "Yeah, I'd love to work there. Help out with the rentals of the canoes and the motorboats and with the repairing of the boats." And I hung down there. They saw me hanging down there with my boats and stuff, and I'd go out. And then they gave me a shot. As young as I was and little as I was, they said, "You want to start helping out with the family?" Because it was a family-run business, helping out, running and renting the canoes and stuff, lifting the canoes with the guys, the other kids, and they were like all in high school and
Like a
stuff.
summer job or not even?
Yeah, weekends, and
Weekends. Okay.
then it became summer. Yeah,
Wow.
and that's when it started. But I gained so much from a job, responsibility, engaging with people, having a boss, living up to your expectations, providing a service. But the big thing was engaging with the customers, engaging with your boss, engaging
Yeah.
with adults, and learning about life. You learn about people, and it's a great thing. And kids just don't have that today. And I got all that discipline, and that rolled into the next phase. With
Yeah.
my
When you
training
started
to be a
hockey.
good hockey player. And then becoming a great lifter. But yeah, I still say it belongs to if young people can move more, get out there and get into fitness and work a fucking job, you're gonna be all set, and go to mass too.
You're gonna be all right.
Yeah, yeah. It's just I think the generation today,
A little
it,
spoiled.
they're just stroked. They were stroked the whole time.
Yeah.
You're great, Bobby. You get a trophy here, Bobby, because you participated. It's not really like you earned it. And they didn't want to be calling them like, "Hey, you didn't earn it. You got to work harder." They didn't like to say that. So I kind of blame the parents of the generation for stroking them too much, making them seem like everyone's awesome. I think it fucks the kids' heads up. It really does. I mean,
Mm,
look at them. 90% of them, they just don't will realize how good we had it and how good we made it, you know?
yeah.
Yeah. You got a shoot job too, right?
Of course.
Yeah. What do you do?
Unfortunately, no.
That's all
I
right.
mean, I love my job.
Yeah.
I manage beauty suppliers.
Well, I
So
could tell. Yeah.
yeah, I'm in a field that I absolutely love, and I'm very
Yeah.
fortunate because it's flexible and
Yeah.
yeah,
So they're cool about this. And when you do your
yeah,
exposés on the road and stuff,
exactly.
that's
They know about my dad's like Hall of Fame petition and the movie, and that I need to take
yeah.
time off and travel to the States and stuff like that. So, but
Yeah.
yeah, I
I
get all the
think
benefits of the perks of discipline.
yeah, they're very good to be flexible with you like that. That's
Yeah,
really good.
yeah.
Um, what am I gonna say? Yeah, because you get a good look. You train and stuff, right? You work
I
out.
do. Yes, I go to the gym.
Yeah, because
And
I
even when
think
I did my master's,
working out's good, man. If you could do
so
your
good for the
workout,
mental
your
health.
cardio, and your mother probably works out too, right?
Not anymore, but she
Yeah,
used to.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, yeah. You know what I remember? Here's a little snippet. Because I used to eat dinner at your mother's house all the time with the Hearts when I was up there at that territory, and I got
Oh,
really tight with them. And they were very adamant about fitness because even your grandmother, she's passed, but Stu's wife, I used to
Mhm.
hear her talking. She goes, "Yeah, Ted, Monday I have to go to jazzercise." That's what it was back then, and
Yeah.
she'd go there
The
like a
I love
bastard.
the jazzercise.
Yeah, yeah, no, she lasted a long time. That
Yeah.
keeps your mind. When you do your cardio,
Yeah.
you get your heart rate up. That blows all that good blood into your
Mhm.
head. It keeps you from getting Alzheimer's, but it gives you like reactivity. Okay, it
Yeah.
gives you total like mental acuity. It just makes you sharper than the other person. And
Mhm.
then you combine that with the benefits of weight training and stuff. It fucking de-ages you. I mean, you look 10 years younger
Yeah.
than what you are, and that's what you want.
Absolutely. Yeah, I've
A lot of
always,
guys in my
my
weight
oh,
I'm sorry.
sorry, go ahead.
Yeah, a lot of guys, in my generation, I'm in the golden age of, wrestling. Those poor guys, they just never had the joint replacements. And once you can't walk, they're on the walkers and they're in the and then they die and they look horrible. And I
Yeah.
feel bad. My One of my best friends, Kenny Patera, I said, Kenny, why didn't you get your friggin' knees done? Now,
Mhm.
he goes, well, I didn't want to go under the knife. I go, yeah, but you trained your ass off before. You've done the wrestling. Certainly, you can go under the knife. You can go with modern techniques too, and the prosthetics. You should have had it done. You can still get it done because, like you said, once you don't move, you die. You die, and that's when I go to these signings where I saw you. Half these guys, God bless them, they're in chairs. They can't walk. They got to be moved to the airport in wheelchairs and stuff. Morocco, I guess I missed him, but he was a real good friend of mine, and he comes over here to the mainland like once. I don't think he's going to come back again because he comes once every 5 or 6 years because he's out in Hawaii, And same thing with him. He didn't get his knees replaced.
Oh.
He can't walk, and he's in a walker, and it's just
Well,
like,
it's like my dad could have had some surgeries as well that he ignored
yeah,
and he ended up in a wheelchair. So
yeah, yeah, and you go quick after that, man. Yeah, you go quick because if you can't move, you can't get your autoimmune system going.
yeah.
It's detrimental to your heart and stuff. And I hate railing about it. So I try to talk to these guys just to get it done because now more than ever, like
Take
maybe
advantage.
if
Yeah.
you if yeah, take advantage of because the prosthetics, you don't have to do one and hope it's the last one because they wear out. They don't fucking wear out. They
Yeah.
want you to run on them. I'm doing a 12-minute mile now. I'm fucking psyched.
Have you had some surgeries?
I
Knee or
two
yeah.
elbows, two shoulders, right hip, and my back. I had so much arthritis in my back. You know how like you lean forward, like what's his face, Beefcake. He's leaning forward all the time, and John Cena's like that now too. You get all this arthritis in your spinal column. Well, there's a trick for that. There's a procedure for that called a lamindectomy. I don't know if you know this, but with this vertebrae in your back, okay, they take the back piece of the vertebrae off, and it's loaded with like it looks like barnacles. That's arthritis. They
Yeah.
throw the thing out, okay, and then they get all the arthritis out that's in that canal where your spinal cord goes through, right? And they take all the loose arthritis out of that, and then they put your muscles back, your what do they call them? Your erector spine muscles back, and they will grow. And it takes about just to get back 100%. Probably takes about 5 months, but you better you can move around. I'm squatting again. I had
Awesome.
let me see, from was it December of 23 all the way to April of 24. That's what, 5 friggin' months, right? I had 5 months. I had 5 operations done. I didn't wait. I'm
Yeah.
not. I can't do this thing like, okay, I'll do a year this time, and then I'll
Because
wait a couple years, get the other knee. Fuck that. I don't got the time. I want to act.
mhm.
So, yeah, because I didn't do any acting when COVID was here. That was like 4 years. We couldn't do any acting. We had the actors strike, and then on top of
Yeah.
that, right after during the actors strike, my knees. I had to like. I was like bad shape. I had to like think where I'm going to walk. I almost became a cripple. I said, "Fuck this! I got to get all this done. Put me up in the lift like a car and just work on my ass."
Oh,
You
I'm
know?
so glad you got it all done
Well,
because
yeah, it's amazing. But
when I looked up your
yeah,
age, I was like, he's not
I know
67.
it's always like
You seem
10
younger.
years younger. Yeah, which is
Yeah.
great.
That's great.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
You're doing
that's because of the surgery and stuff, you know?
and your lifestyle as well.
Yeah. And it's not that hard. You get better at it and it's
You get
easier.
used to it.
You
Exactly.
get used to it. So
Just
make
becomes
sure you keep doing what you're doing. And if you got a joint problem, you know, get that fixed, even if you have to get a joint replaced, because you're going to be better off for it. And you
in the
don't
long.
have to wait till you're near the end when you're on a walker. That's bullshit. That's old time thinking. That's long gone. You get the thing done, you stay in fitness, you're going to look young for a long friggin' time. That's
Let's
what
talk
you got
about
to do.
the Boston Garden TV main event
Oh,
celebration
yeah.
between you and John Studd. What are your memories
That
of
was
that match?
unbelievable. Yeah, that
How
was
long were you in the company at that point?
good call. I was 4 months in the business.
Wow.
Imagine that. 4 months in the business. No one's ever been like that. 4 months. I just got out of wrestling camp, I guess in December. Yeah.
Oh yeah. So who were the trainers there?
Tony Altamori, he was the trainer there. He was the one assigned. Good guy. He was with Lou Albano at the time, the
Lovely.
Sicilians,
Mhm.
before he got into training people. And a couple shout outs to my friends there. Paul Roma, he was a
Love Paul.
wrestler
I
that
just
was
did his
there.
podcast.
Oh, cool, cool. Yeah,
Woo.
and then let me just, and then Mario Mancini, he was there. He was one of the instructors. He helped me out.
Yeah, he
He
was
was
on
a
the
good,
podcast too.
yeah,
Yeah,
and he put people over too. He was good at that.
yeah.
And yeah, it's like, so I'm talking to Vince. I go, okay. Um, he goes, we're gonna bring you there, Boston Garden. You're the hometown kid. It was a
Yeah,
sellout against Stud, John Stud, and John's a big bastard, and he was cool. And he we just kind of went by each other's instincts and stuff, and we got over big time. I got over on my muscle moves, and he at the time had that thing where he didn't want to be slammed. That was the thing. That was his gimmick. John Stud cannot be
yeah,
slammed, and if you slam him, you get like 15 grand. So everybody thought that night I was going to slam him. I got him up like in 2 seconds, but then he grabbed the rope
yeah.
and then he gouged guys me, and then he gave me heat, and then I got back in him. Then we took it out of the ring, kind of like a Bruiser Brody thing, and it worked out great. We got over big time, and that was a TV main event,
Yeah.
and at a
Was your
sold
dad
out
in the crowd for that one?
huh?
Was your family in the crowd for that one? Your
No,
dad? No.
no, absolutely not.
No.
No,
You
They
didn't
they
come
they still
around
don't
yet?
put it around. Yeah, I think they might have seen it on TV, but they weren't into that. You know, they just
Yeah.
weren't into that. It's almost like you're
I
an
know some
artist.
people aren't.
Yeah, you're like it's someone like Monet is drawing beautiful pictures, and there are other people in his family. They're like farmers. They couldn't relate to that. You know what I'm saying? So
Yeah.
yeah, they were like highly academic, and but the place was great. I used to get my friends in there and stuff, and it was. I'm glad I did that. It was an unbelievable match, and then it
Yeah. Well,
became
amazing being in Boston.
and it was unbelievable in Boston. I'm the hometown guy, so
That's
that
so
was
great.
great. I could have run for mayor that night.
So it's WrestleMania season, and you were in WrestleMania 2. Any
Yeah,
memories from
WrestleMania
WrestleMania?
2 was
Did you
yeah.
get to meet Ozzy Osbourne?
No, I didn't because I
Or
was in Chicago.
yeah, did they do 2
Yeah, they did
him?
three simulcasts actually. That was the
Wow.
first done ever in the world of wrestling, and I was in the battle royal, the 20-man battle royal, and I was with all these great football stars, Refrigerator Perry, and then some great wrestlers, Iron Sheik, your uncle, he was in it, with Brett and Neidhart, they were in it too. Andre the Giant. So just being in that gang of guys, there was just so much muscle in there, and we're all trying to throw each other out. I think people just wanted to see us in the ring because it was nuts. This is at the Rosemount Horizon. It was on the HBO, the cable, all over the world. First, they had the New York series, then they did the Chicago, then they did, I think, L.A. So it was all spaced out. It was pretty cool.
Yeah.
And yeah, there's a picture of me in my Facebook. I had 2 days off. Vince gave us 2 days off after that before we went on the road, and I was there with my friends, and I was like someone sent a picture, and it's me, shit faced.
Whoop.
Yeah, but it was cool. It was cool. But that was, I mean, there's another thing. I mean, that's like, shoot, that was before the stud match, WrestleMania. And yeah, that same month. And it's like, wow, all this with just
Happened so
4
fast.
months in the business.
That's
So that
what
was
was
amazing.
what was the locker room like back then with all those
It was
characters?
good. I mean, there were some people, there was just a few that were kind of pissed at me. And it's like, hey, man, it ain't my fault, you know?
Yeah.
Um, but yeah, I'm progressing and Vince is going with it and it's working out good. And then everybody else, I'd say 90% of the people were great uh, because, you know, we all work for Vince and we want to make the thing work. You got to make the matches work. If it doesn't work, it stinks the house out. You don't want that. You don't want that. So they were very supportive. Your uncles were very supportive of me. I remember Dynamite used to talk to me after the matches and stuff, and he'd tell you too. He says, you either got over you or not. He says, you're getting over. He says,
Yeah.
keep doing what you're doing. He says, watch matches on TV. This is like homework, you know, while I'm still working.
Yeah.
Wrestling.
Still learning while you're
Yeah,
working.
and he used to tell me when he hurt his back real bad, and he was in Calgary for a while. That's when I was learning to be a heel, and he'd be talking to me, and he helped me on my promos and stuff. He loved my promos out of Stampede, which were great because I was going up a guy named Bill Kazmaier then, who we tried to work an angle with. There's two world's strongest men, but it didn't work because Kaz couldn't sell, and he had the fucking character of a fucking fence post. He just couldn't fucking move, you know. But yeah, Dynamite was good on that, and he used to tell me what I'm doing right, and then eventually he says, "Man, you got it. You could be a heel. You go back to Vince. You're ready." Because that was the whole idea, me going away for a while, and instead I went down to Texas. But yeah,
And
he
you
was,
preferred playing heel?
huh?
You preferred being
Oh,
a
I
heel?
love being a heel. Yeah,
Yeah.
because
More freedom.
you know that's my antagonism. That's me. You get to call the match. You decide the spots, and I like being an asshole. You know, a strong asshole. And he got me, and Morocco got me to be able to jump off the rope, and even sometimes jump off the turnbuckle area and give a hammer throw over the guy's head. I think there's a shot in Facebook on that with Tony Atlas. I did that at Madison Square Garden, or I did that at the Boston Garden. But that's impressive because I remember Dynamite and Morocco saying this. It's one thing jumping off a rope, okay? Uh, but Morocco says, but if you're a big guy, a big, muscular guy, not just a fat shit, but a
Yeah.
big muscular guy going off the rope, that's right up there with Road Warrior territory. People can't fuck with you. And that was great. Yeah. Someone sent me that shot. That was phenomenal.
Don't you love getting all those shots that people
I
send you?
love them. I don't know where they're coming from. All these tapes and
Mhm.
these interviews and stuff. And like I said, I got an agent, and he says, "Ted, why don't we just get you on Facebook because it's a good way
For
to
people to reach out and
show the stuff and reach out, and you can catalog all the shit you're doing. You know, all the pictures and stuff. Because like half of them just came from dedicated fans. I guess if you call that, yeah.
yeah. Same thing with I'm running my dad's Instagram page and same thing.
You're
I'll
getting
get
a lot of stuff too,
pictures
huh?
I
Yeah.
haven't seen before, especially Japan photos. There's so much out there.
Oh, that was unbelievable against Tiger. That's like
Yeah.
legendary.
Yeah.
I think he was better then when he was in WWE.
Yeah, those are his
Yeah,
best matches
this is
for sure.
unbelievable, unbelievable. And but I remember he was saying though too. See, he's old school, just like Davy Boy was. From they grew up poor, and
Mhm.
they had to work for it. And they were like this generation; they weren't stroked, and they had a guy saying, "You either do it or you don't. You're going to do it, and you got to compete against these other guys." It's that degree of excellence. You have to get that. So that's why I loved hearing feedback from him, uh, Hart,
Yeah.
Neidhart, uh, and they tell it like it is. They tell it like it is, and that's the best way to go. And that Vince like that. He says, console these guys that have
Yeah.
been in the business.
They know what's up.
Yeah, they know what's up because you want to do the right thing, you know. And it just progressed me even more. So when I was down in Texas, it was great as a heel. And I didn't get back to Vince because Vince still had
It's changing, right?
Patera. Ken Patera came out of jail and he was there. And I go, Vince, I got to get back. I want to get back with you guys. He goes, well, not yet, not yet. And I couldn't wait
Yeah.
because at the time, I had my vitamin supplement business going on the side. And then I was talking to the people at GNC, and they wanted me to kind of like get out of wrestling and get into the vitamin supplement, which is like millions of dollars basically.
Yeah.
And I ended up doing that. That's how I got out. Otherwise, I probably would have stayed in
Waiting.
world class longer and then gone back to New York. But as fate has it, what are you gonna do? What are you gonna do?
Do you have any Calgary stories? Any Heart House stories?
Oh yeah, I'll give you one.
Dungeon? You were training in the dungeon?
I was never in the dungeon.
No?
No, but
Any funny stories?
Stu, you know how he talks like this. Stu, I gotta talk like the Ted.
Yeah.
Man. Yeah. Well, if you take a hold like that, I'm in his fucking kitchen. And if you take a guy like this and you hold him like that, now he's down on one knee, okay, and then they do that, and he can never get out. No way. I don't care how strong you are. You can never get out. And meanwhile, my balls are turning blue in that fucking kitchen, and he's doing that. And then he let up because he knows he's busting your balls, because the guy
was take you down in the dungeon. He'd rather do it in the kitchen.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. So one time, right? I'm having dinner with your Aunt Georgia, right? And all the Hearts, Dynamite, everybody's there. Yeah. And I was tired. I just lifted weights. I had a killer workout.
Oh, did you work out at BJ's gym?
I worked out at BJ's gym. Yeah. And great guy. And he ran a great gym.
Yeah, it's no longer around.
Everyone went to that place, man. It was a power gym. It was serious weight training. And so I'm eating dinner with everybody. And then I'm hearing this from another guy. He goes, where the hell's Ted? And Stu and BJ. Where the hell did Ted go? They're looking for Ted. Did he pass out or something? And they found me where everybody puts their coats on the beds and stuff. I was taking a friggin' nap. I was taking a nap where they put their coats and stuff. So at the Hearts house, yeah. Okay. Yeah. During dinner, middle of dinner.
Yeah. Jet lag, I don't know.
And this is another thing though. To give you the magnitude of such a great family, the size, and how it was a serious Sunday dinner. You're in a boardroom table where there's like at least 20 seats going around, maybe 25. It was like the chairman of the board, and Stu's at the heart there. Stu's at the head, no pun intended. And everyone's there. And so I go, so like, what are we eating today? And Stu called me into the kitchen, and we're having chicken. And it wasn't just like one or two chickens. They had this setup, like if you go to a grocery store, like a deli, there's like chickens in a rotisserie, like 5 chickens on one row. He had like 10 chickens going over. Like, oh my God. It was like he was selling them, but it was all for us. Yeah. Rotisserie. Mm-hmm. And it looked unbelievable. And Stu, he used to love eating the ass of the chicken. I did too, the bum, because it was just had a flavor and had the fat and stuff in it. And Stu and I would be eating the asses of the chicken in the kitchen.
Share the ass with you.
Yeah. Well,
did you spend a lot of time in Calgary, like consecutively, or were you just there?
Huh?
Were you in Calgary for a long period of time?
I was there probably about 5 or 6 months. 4 or 5, 6 months. Yeah. And that was good because that's all it took for me to. You worked every night in Calgary. I mean, you worked every night. The pay wasn't that great, but what you did, you learned. And Brian, it's just like anything. If you keep doing it and doing it and doing it, and your heart's into it, you're gonna get better. I don't care what it is. You're gonna get better.
So when you were powerlifting and what was your diet like? Like, how much did you eat?
Anything that, this is my quote, and it still works. Anything that swims or flies, that's the best protein. Yeah. It really is. And I had probably 75% protein, 25% carbohydrates. And then the night of my lift, like let's say I'm benching tomorrow and benching heavy or doing like weight training, I would switch it around. I'd go 75% carbohydrate and then 25% because you're going to use those
Energy.
carbohydrates the next day. Yeah, which is an active source of energy. Yeah.
And so
But
how has your fitness regime changed now that you're
good call. Yeah, good point. I'm not going heavy. I'm going more for reps, but it's kind of weird. I do heavy sets of a lighter weight, but I consider them heavy of like, I don't know, eight to tens. And I'm doing a lot of sets, like behind the neck press. I'm still doing them stand up behind my neck. And I make sure the bar's real behind there. And I'm bringing it down deep behind my neck. A lot of people can't reach that far, but if you keep doing your stretching, you will be able to, because
oh, yeah.
behind the neck press is still the biggest, it's got to be the biggest shoulder developer in the world. People don't do it anymore after 30 because they can't reach behind there, but if you could do your flexibility exercises, you can do that. And
Yeah,
you
stretching
gain.
is so important.
Oh, big time,
Don't do
especially
it.
your arms back there. Lat pull down, same thing. Do your lat pull downs behind your head. You're going to build up your shoulders more. So it's all about pressing and pulling for your shoulders. And then benching, I do the same thing, about 10, 11 sets, uh, 8 to 12 reps towards the end. And I feel good. I'm blowing up and everything.
You ever try to get that 700 mark again?
Oh, God, no, no. No, you know why? Because the prosthetics that I get in there,
Yeah.
they're not made for that heavy weight. I'm just happy I look the way I am because I still look like I can do some damage.
You
So
have two sons. Have they followed your footsteps in fitness at all?
no, they got into one became a prison guard in Maine, like a
You gotta
high-end
be tough
prison
for that,
official.
right?
Huh?
You gotta be tough for that.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
And he's doing that. And then my other son, he wants to be a guitar player, so he's still doing open mics down in Texas.
Oh, that's so cool.
Yeah, I say, try to have a backup plan though. It's always
Yeah.
good to have that. I mean, I sent him to good schools, but
Does
yeah,
he play country? Is that why he's in
he
Texas?
does. He does like title songs, rock and roll and stuff, like at
Nice.
coffee bars and stuff like that. And he wants to. He was with a group before. He wants to get in with another group, but it's good. I'm always in working for the arts and stuff, but you got to
Yeah.
get a shoe job, something better. He went
Yeah.
to a good college. He went to good high school. He went to a good military school, and yeah, it's just you can only tell him so much.
Yeah, they'll figure
Say
it out.
something. Yeah,
One thing will lead to another, just like
yeah,
your
because you got a couple kids too, right? They're like
I
10
have
and
two
11.
daughters. Yeah.
How
My
how
little
old?
one just started gymnastics yesterday, so
Wow.
maybe she'll get into wrestling. You never know.
Yeah. Isn't it something they always do? Like Neidhart's kid get into wrestling,
Yes.
and yeah, and
Harry, Davey's son.
yeah, he was a wrestler for a while, right? He didn't stick
Still
with
is.
it.
Yeah, he's in Japan all the time. He's pretty much full time over there.
Is he wrestling in Japan?
Yeah.
No kidding. Good
Yeah.
for him.
Mm-hmm.
Wow.
Yeah,
The
he loves it
Prince.
over there.
Yeah. Do you think he'll go back to New York at all?
Oh yeah. Yeah. He'll
Yeah.
be in Vegas for WrestleMania and
No, but I mean, work with Vince, WWE,
oh, who knows?
or did
I
they have a fallout or something?
I'm sure he would go back, but I know that, like my dad, he just loves Japan. He loves the wrestling. He loves the
Yeah.
culture. He loves
Yeah.
the food. So yeah,
He's a tall dude too. I mean,
he is. Yeah,
he's got to be like what, 6'3"?
yeah. I think he
Yeah,
is 3.
yeah. He's pretty
So
athletic.
you're an actor as well. Lots of
Yeah,
movies, commercials,
yeah,
TV shows. What
yeah.
are some of your favorite roles that you've done?
The one I just did, that was the best I've ever done. It's this new series I'm in called The Chair Company on
Mhm.
HBO original series, and I'm supposed to be in it for this year coming up, reoccurring.
That
Uh,
answers one of my fan questions coming up.
yeah, that's the best one. They got the best exposure as far as recent, since I came back after my surgeries and stuff. But before that, I was in The Fighter, Denzel Washington,
I saw
the
that.
Equalizer. That was a good role. The
Yeah.
international version, that was a good role where I played the guy Big Ernie at a barbecue, and then I have
Seems fitting for you. Bigger.
yeah. He's a great guy too, by the way. Denzel's so good to work with.
I
I
was
mean,
gonna say, I bet he
we're
is.
on that we're on that set probably shit at least 6 hours, and
Mhm.
he just went with it. We did a lot of. You're gonna recognize this too, Brian. when you do your acting, it's one thing about staying on script and stuff, but a lot of it is they want to see you do, as long as you stay on the main theme, improv, because that's where the magic happens, where you get better, where it becomes real, and it's not like a script. That's what they want. And
Yeah.
I did that in The Fighter. I did that in a bunch of Law and Orders. Yeah, I've done a bunch of
Like
them.
cutting a promo.
Cutting
Kind
up, exactly. I got that from just me. So that's me. That's why I wanted to get into the acting, because Paul Triple H, my boy,
of.
Paul Levesque, he always said, because he used to like my promos when it was on ESPN from Calgary and from down in Texas with the World Class Championship. He says, Ted, you should get into acting. I go, well, I like it, yeah. But he goes, yeah, because all this is off the top of your head.
Yeah.
There's no script, as you know, That's why some people can either do promos and some people can't. So I think it's about engaging and just doing stuff improv. And that's all part of keeping your mind sharp too, by doing your
Yes.
workouts and stuff.
Mhm.
So I thought it was a natural fit. And then when I got into acting, it was in '97 I started a non-union stuff. I worked a shitload, Braun, of all free stuff, student films, non-union stuff, low budget stuff. But I was embracing it because I was doing what I loved, and you only get better at it. It's just about getting comfortable under the camera. And then I ended up doing some decent stuff, non-union, that I could put together in what they call a reel.
Yeah.
And I sent that to New York and LA, and I ended up getting a commercial agent and a film and TV agent. So one thing begins the other. And another thing I was doing too, it doesn't happen overnight. I was doing that shit for a few years before I started getting some big time notoriety. I would go to these. Do you guys do film up that way, your way? There's a lot of
Like
independent
the film
films.
festivals, yep.
Yeah, okay. So
Mhm.
we're doing film festivals, and that's where we hit this movie I was in. It's on Netflix now. Donald Cried. You might have seen that on the reel. That was a real big part I had, and that got awards and stuff at South by Southwest, which is a big film festival. But I used to do this too. I would go to these casting agents. They have what they call seminars and workshops where you go there, they give you a part, and you do the part with a reader, like a real audition in front of the whole class. And I just said, this is good, because these are the people that cast for Law and Order,
Yeah.
independent films, regular TV shows, and big movies. So why not go right to the horse's mouth and show my shit to them?
Yeah.
And that's what I did. So like I literally, from '97 all the way to like 2000, almost every weekend I was either in Boston or in New York for 3 or 4 days straight, hitting all these casting directors with their workshops. And it was the best thing. It was the best thing because it just got you out there, and they know who you are. And then, they start calling you in. So yeah, it's a road to hoe, but it's doable. You can fucking do it. You
The
just got
Chair
to love it.
Company, where was that filmed?
That's filmed in New York.
Okay,
Yeah.
cool.
Yeah. Yeah. That's that actor. I didn't even know who he was. And you don't want to know who you're working with, because why psych yourself out? But I
Mhm.
was at that scene. That's with the main star, Tim Robertson. And I just looked at him like another actor, and we got along great. And the director was cool, because the director, and here's how things connect. That director saw my shit in Austin at South by Southwest with Donald Cried. He goes, I remember you in Donald Cried. I wanted to bring you in for this. And I go,
Perfect.
cool, man. So I didn't even know who these people were until I talked to them, until after. And that's the best way to adopt. Why build up pressure on yourself? You know? And that's where people make a mistake. They get too psyched out. And when
Yeah.
I was working on the set with Wahlberg and Christian
Oh,
Bale and Melissa
he's
Leo,
like my favorite. Mark
Wahlberg,
Wahlberg.
he's great. He's great. He's great.
Yeah.
And we just ran it over and over and over and over. And it's just like we're talking to each other. And then it just stopped, and I just stopped and realized these other guys, these other actors, I'm not going to mention names, but they were having trouble with their lines and shit. And I'm thinking, the director said, "No, you're not getting that right. We got to do this. Ted, keep doing your thing. We're
Yeah.
all like at the same level. And I'm thinking to myself, fuck this. I got this, man. This is
Yeah.
fucking easy, you know? So that
Well,
gave me a lot of strength and confidence right there after the fighter movie. And I never lost it ever since because we're all human beings. We're all
Mhm.
human beings and everyone fucks up in their lines. And the more
Yeah.
you do, the better you get. That's why, yeah, that got the chair company, that episode 5, that carried the whole episode, my scene. And that was on HBO all of November. That's when it premiered, that show, the Chair Company, and it's going to be going on again. The season starts in like another month or two for filming, and
Yeah.
then it's going to air out. But yeah, that was phenomenal. Yeah, and that was just like all reactive. I wouldn't even call it acting. I call it
Yeah.
reaction. You
Yeah.
know, you probably saw that scene, huh? Yeah.
Mhm.
The guys, I think the guy's cheating on me, and I'm making him cheat on his wife. I mean, it was hilarious, but it was crazy too. And we did it different ways, and it was easy. It was easy. I loved it. Yeah.
Awesome.
So yeah, that was good. That was good.
Well, I have a few fan questions for you here.
Yeah,
Someone
yeah.
would like to know some Calgary ribs that you
I never
experienced.
got ribbed. Not really.
That's
Um,
good. That's good news.
yeah, I do remember this though. Owen used to do a lot of the ribs on the baby face bus, you know.
Mhm.
But in the heel bus, we're never into ribbing and shit like that. But
Someone just loved it.
yeah, Owen loved to do that, and bless his heart, you know, he just tried to keep the morale and everything going. But he was a good father too, from what I understand.
Yeah.
And
Well, he would have been probably younger than the bunch too, right? So a
he
little
was
more.
young, but he was with him. He was one of the stars in Stampede. Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. Because I had seen him once at a dark match when I was with Vince, when I was with the WWE, and Brett introduced me to him. I go, "Hey man, how you doing?" I saw him in the dark match. He's walking on the top rope, throwing people out, and I guess Vince just wanted him to build up on his body more. But the guy knew the skills already. He was
Yeah.
really, really
I
good.
think
So I knew.
he definitely looked up to my dad and his
Oh yeah, I knew he was
wrestling
going to be back.
style.
Yeah, I knew he was going to be back, and it was just a matter of time. But yeah, he. I've heard some things, yeah, of people ribbing and stuff, but I mean that shit can go too far,
Yeah.
you know.
It was
I
a
used
big
to hear
thing
about,
back then.
I used to hear about your dad, him doing stuff, and it might have been taken too far, but the people weren't ready for that, and
Yeah.
that, you know. But that's not good because it makes you look bad, and you build up a bad rep that way. Where really the guy, he was really good to all people. You know, he just tried to loosen things up, and it might have gone too far. You know,
Yeah.
but
Some British
I
humor that people didn't understand.
yeah, that's the thing. I think it's the European, the British, the UK, that stuff.
Mhm.
Um, but the kid, he always gave you respect. I feel he did anyway. He was always respectful, and both of them, both your uncles. Um, and I learned a lot from them. I was so glad I had mentors like that. Otherwise, I don't think I would have progressed. I know I
Yeah.
wouldn't have gotten the main event at the Boston Garden,
Yeah.
if I wasn't progressing, and it was because of these guys. And they put their time in, man, too. Yeah, your dad
Yeah.
and your uncle. I mean, they put in a lot of time at Stampede before they got in to New York, and but when they were in England, they were working their asses off,
Oh
and
yeah.
they used to. That was brutal too. That was like Stretch City over there. You
Yeah.
know,
The
it was
Wigan State pit.
brutal. They put their time in. Who's that older guy that taught him? I forget his name.
Billy Robinson, is that or
Yes, yeah, Robinson. Yeah,
Mhm.
but they put their time in, and yeah, it would have been good. Tell me about your dad's back. I know I was at Stampede when he was recovering from his back, and I still remember seeing the video where it was just a simple throw against the ropes, and somebody gives him a knee in the back. It's like a work knee, but
Yeah.
it hit him just the right way. Like I think it disconnected his spinal cord or something. Right? He couldn't
Yeah.
walk.
I don't know like full
What
detail
happened?
how to describe it.
Yeah.
Um, I just know that when he did get surgery as well, actually, it wasn't his back surgery though, but he rushed back to the ring when he shouldn't have. So,
Yeah. Yeah.
because
Yeah.
back then you weren't getting
He was
paid.
so eager to get back. Yeah.
Yes,
But
and like,
meanwhile, his he couldn't work out and stuff, so he lost a lot of body weight. If he had
yeah.
done it right, he should have said, "Fuck it, I'm already over with the people. Let me take a year before I come back and
But back
work on
then
my."
it was like if you're not working, you're not making money. So and they had
Yeah, but
he just bought a house. He had young kids
he
at
was
home.
making good money then, though. He must have put it away anyway. I know they did.
Yeah,
They were making real good money.
yeah.
Um,
It
yeah, he
was just
came back too quick, and that's just ended him
mhm.
because it was cut short. It was cut short.
Yeah, and then
And when you're
later
not
on,
doing
he
stuff,
was offered a back surgery, and
yeah,
he denied it, and then
yeah,
they're like, "Well, you're gonna end up in a wheelchair," and sure enough, he did eventually, so
yeah, that's when he went back to England. He was
yeah,
living on Social
he went back.
Security and stuff. Yeah.
Yeah.
So he just had, from what you're saying, he just had enough of the back issue at all. I don't want people delving into my back. It could be even worse. It's almost like
It was
he
like,
knew he was going to
stubborn,
eventually
just
get.
being stubborn.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Now I got to ask you something, Bron. I thought I saw him in a wheelchair being wheeled out to the Hall of Fame already with
Uh,
Vince.
it
Wasn't that him?
there was a wrestling show in England. I don't remember what promotion that was. It wasn't a
Okay,
Hall of
so this
Fame.
wasn't Vince when they wheeled him out and they gave him a. Okay, all
No,
right.
that was in England, some kind of like local promotion
Oh,
where he was actually giving someone else an award, I believe. So,
yeah, yeah, because he was in a wheelchair. It's like a
yeah.
few years before he passed. Why wouldn't Vince put? So is Davy Boy not in the Hall of Fame either?
Davey is in the Hall of Fame.
How did he get in and not as a British Bulldog, the other one? They
Not
just don't. You don't know. Is it
I'm
all
not
scuttlebutt? They won't tell you.
not sure yet, but we're knocking on all the doors trying to get there,
I
pushing the
think he'll get in. I think
petition.
he'll get in.
So,
I mean, you got to have
yeah.
a you got to have a lot of signatures by now. I mean, shit, I'm pushing it on my sites,
Oh,
and
thank you
everyone
so
else
much.
is. Yeah, yeah,
Appreciate that.
uh,
So a few more questions here
yeah,
from
yeah,
the
yeah, yeah. Go with the questions. Yeah.
someone asked, did your orthodontist father worry about your teeth as a wrestler?
No,
No.
he
He's like, oh,
wasn't talking to me. Whoever that is, we were like il comunicado. Nothing, nothing, and he didn't worry.
like, oh,
He was worried
Kevin, you
about my
lose your
teeth
teeth?
more when I was playing hockey. When I was
He was
playing
worried.
hockey, yeah, yeah, because hockey players lose their teeth.
That's
He
true
had me
too.
wear the mouth guard all the time and everything. Yeah.
Yeah. Any funny Tim Robinson stories from your time on the chair company?
Um,
And will you be back for season 2? I believe you said
I
yes.
should be back. Yeah, they want me back for season 2, which is cool. Um, other than the fact that he was this actor, and he must have known me because he's not only the director, the producer, but he's also he helps with the direction and stuff. I didn't know who the hell he was. I just wasn't keeping up with it because I've been out of the game that while, for a few years. And I looked at him. I'm thinking, geez, this guy, he's got a weird look, but hey, if he's got the job, he's got the job. He's my co-host. But I didn't realize he was he was in the whole. He was in the. He's like the guy. He's the
Lead
main event.
us.
Yeah, yeah.
That's
And I didn't know until the end. And I was always thinking, like, wow, what's this guy with these weird fucking facial anomalies? He's got he's got these weird facial things. And then when we would do our improv and stuff, he went with me. I'm going, wow, he's going with me because I would say something out of the blue, and then he would keep it going like
love
it's a real situation. Like this guy's gonna fucking kill me if he doesn't take a picture of me screwing on his wife. So yeah, that's if you call it a story, it was just like how we put it together, and I had no idea. And I look back at the taping. I look back at the filming and our parts, and the whole thing is like me. But what his part was in there too was like a good wrestling. Like the other guy's chipping in, like he's
yeah,
keeping the thing going because he's reacting to
give
what
and take.
silly crazy shit I'm doing. So I'm feeding off him. He's feeding off me. But that's where it goes to show you, Brian, that like, yeah, listening and reacting, that's acting right there,
Yeah.
And he's
Not
got
just being
such a
selfish
unique
and
look.
thinking of your own spot. You gotta like
Yeah. And then I realized this is the guy that's on Saturday Night Live. I go, oh my God. I gave him a hug at the end. I go, I'll see you. I hope I see you guys. Oh, you will. You will. I know it's cool. And we took um, some time, exchange each other's email and all that stuff. But yeah, that was a trip. I don't have any crazy stories
Yeah.
but we were filming that thing 5 hours, like from
Wow.
8 at night to 1:30, 1:30 in a almost like a boiler room, like at the bottom of an industrial building. I mean, only a location person can find that, to have my scene. And it's such a far out, crazy show about conspiracies that it just fit in right there. And yeah, I remember like we were in Queens filming this thing, and I'm thinking if there's a bomb or something goes on, no one's gonna know about us because we're like underground in a boiler room and underneath the city. It was crazy, crazy. But you could see how it gets put together when he's running into the thing and he runs into my room where I'm about to screw this girl, my coworker, and I'm married, and then I'm paranoid as it is, and the show's about paranoia, and he's paranoid. We're both paranoid, and if he had a gun, we would both shot each other. But no, that was so good. It was such good exposure, and it's giving me more and more
That's awesome. And that
opportunities.
one can be seen on Netflix or?
I think it's on. Yeah, you can get it on Netflix. Yeah, episode 5. Yeah, it's on now. And there's the other stuff too. Donald Cried, that's on there. The Fighter. I'm sure you could get Law and Orders, and then there was a bunch of stuff I was on too, like the Equalizer and everything else. I've done about 32 pieces, so that's cool. Yeah, and then not to mention what's funny is I used to do commercials because commercials you make a lot of money. I had a real good commercial with FedEx. I think that's on the reel, and I played like a Tony Soprano hiding from the rest of the world, and I'm setting up my own like company, and the FedEx guys come in here as guys that they were like guards. You can't do that. People are gonna know who you are. It's a funny commercial. But that was a real big pain. That was like a Super Bowl commercial.
I was gonna say, yeah, you guys get the better commercials in the States.
Oh, I tell you, yeah. And I don't think FedEx does commercials like that anymore. But everybody loved that commercial. That was great. I got a call from BJ on that even too in Georgia. Yeah. Have you seen Georgia lately? How's she doing?
Yeah. Well, I last saw her, I think, for Natty's book signing when I don't know what month that was, a few months ago.
Okay.
Yeah, she's good. She's amazing.
I still feel bad about Matthew, the little boy. Remember that? Yeah.
I know.
I was there. I used to hang out with the kids with Teddy and him and eat at their house too. And then
he was 1 year older than me.
Yeah, when I went, that's right. Okay. Yeah. So he was born in 83. Okay. So when I went to Texas, I got the news. I felt so fucking bad. How can he die like that? He seemed great though. He seemed in good health and everything. What was it, like cancer or something or what?
Flesh-eating disease. So it started like a cat scratch that got an infection, but then a wrestling injury, which like I don't know. I don't understand the science of things, but
yeah.
Spread into his body, and I saw him in the hospital like that, and it was just terrible. But
he was only 11, right? 10?
He was 13.
13, yeah.
Wow.
Yeah. How's Teddy doing? Teddy Yanis.
He's still Ted.
Yeah, tell him I said hi.
Character, I will.
I used to shoot the shit with him all the time too. He was a good hockey player too. Didn't he play hockey? This is BJ's son.
They did play hockey, yeah.
And but he wasn't a bad hockey player.
Incredible wrestler as well. High flyer.
Yeah.
My last fan question comes from my mom. She wants to know about Bill Casimir fainting during The Strongest Man.
Oh, yeah. Wow, that was unbelievable.
She had sent me the video, and I haven't even opened it yet, so I still need to have to watch it, but she was laughing really hard.
That was big time then, yeah. So Kaz, they set up a promo. They set up a thing that we would have a powerlifting match. And what a better way to create an angle than to have me in the middle of the match screw him up, hit him and stuff, while he's trying to go for a world record weight, even though it's a work weight, but it was still a lot of weight. So we did the bed. We did the first one was an overhead press, so picking up the weight, clean and jerk and pressing it over his head. And this is live TV in Calgary, Stampede, which went all over the place, So this is the first work powerlifting match ever in wrestling. and people, because I was already over with New York, and everybody knew who Bill Kazmaier was because he was on The World's Strongest Man on NBC for 3 years before that. So here we are going at each other's throats in the Olympic shoulder press. You jerk it up and then you press over your head. And every time he did it, he would hold the weight out over his head, right? Hold it out. And he fainted because I guess he had so much pressure in his carotid artery. So he's holding it out over his head. And then he just went back with the weight. He went back. He like fainted. And the production kept going, and people just wondering what's going on. And he all of a sudden, like, he got up. He said, "Hey, how you doing?" BJ says, "Hey, Kaz, it's BJ." He goes, "Hi, BJ." He says, BJ says, "You know what happened?" He goes, "No." He goes, "Well, you fainted." He goes, "Oh, well, let me try it again." So I do a lift, and then he does a lift again. And I think it was, which isn't a lot then, but it's still a decent amount. It was like 2.25 over your head, 225, maybe 250. And the same thing happens. He's got the weight over his head, and he just falls back with the weight in the air. He falls back. And they had to kind of like cut it off right there. And then we went on to the bench press. With the bench press, he could do a bench press. He wouldn't faint on that. And that's when I gave him heat. I would hit him with one of those sticks and stuff. But yeah, that was kind of weird. It was scary, but kind of funny too, because Kazmaier, who's legitimately one of the world's strongest men, he's fainting. He couldn't lift the weights. So that was kind of like the butt of the joke back then.
Was it the Victoria Pavilion, like where they always did their shows?
Yeah, right at the pavilion there.
Maybe it was really hot in there. I don't know.
Was it? No, because I was it. Yeah, it was like on a stage.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was at the pavilion. Yeah, there was like a stage there. And BJ was he was narrating the whole thing too, like a powerlifting director, which was cool. We each get 3 attempts in the deadlift, and the overhead press, and in the bench press. That's what we decided we're going to do, those 3 lifts. But he couldn't get past.
The angle didn't go so well then.
Yeah, it did not go up. Plus, the guy kind of sucked it. I like Bill, but he couldn't sell because he had that ego problem, like some wrestlers have. They don't want to sell.
See it all the time.
And yeah, well, you know who was like that too with me was Alice. Is that the guy wouldn't fucking sell. And when you don't sell, the matches aren't that great. You know, you get someone like Stud who sells, or the Iron Sheik. I had great matches with him. He sold like a bastard.
That's what was great about my dad too. He'll make anyone look good.
Oh man, he was really good. You could toss him around like a toy. It was great. But he'd come back at you, you know? And that's what makes it believable. But yeah, Kaz, he meant well, and it looked great on paper. 2 of the world's strongest men. I mean, we get this gimmick going, we could take it to New York. Easy. But Bill had this head problem that you know, I don't want to be pushed around as much because I'm the world's strongest man. And I was trying to tell Bill, I go, Bill, that shit don't fly. People don't want that. You know, this is wrestling, and you got to make it look believable. And he couldn't. And another thing was, he wasn't that athletic. You couldn't see him jumping off the ropes and stuff like that. You want to be somewhat athletic, but he was kind of stiff. He just couldn't move that well, you know. And they tried him in the WCW. He had some success down there, but he wasn't there too long. I don't think he won anything, did anything extravagant. He didn't have any moves. He really couldn't move. And you have to be able to move, even if for a big man. Patera could move. The Road Warriors could move, you know. You got to have some athleticism, you know. So, yeah, he meant well. It looked good on paper, but it just didn't work. And there was a guy.
Have you watched the video back? Because it is online.
Oh, yeah, I've seen that. Yeah. It's all over the place. Yeah, it's kind of rickety looking, but it's out there. But do you remember a guy named Les Thornton?
Yes.
Yeah. He would even tell us on Vince's behest to work with me and Kaz even extra at the pavilion, working matches and stuff. and we're trying to spell it out to Kaz. Okay, you got to try to do this move, do that move, and then look like sell it, look like you're being hurt and stuff, and then show a comeback. But they couldn't grasp it psychologically,
Yeah.
and it wasn't inept to them, like Dynamite and her and all the other hearts. It just didn't come naturally. He's just too. I think even if he was selling, it just looked too phony. He didn't. It wasn't athletic looking enough. Does that make sense?
Yes,
Yeah,
it does. Some people
yeah,
just don't have it. Just don't.
yeah, yeah. You know who was like that too? Who he had a good shot. Um, he didn't have the character. He didn't have the charisma. Um, who was that big? He was a world's strongest man guy too, and he was working with the guys that. What the hell was his name? Shit will come to me. But he used to do acrobatics.
Or
He used to do like acrobatics. He worked hard. Brett gave him a great match, but he couldn't sell and he couldn't do anything in New York.
I'm not
Uh,
sure.
yeah, it'll come to me. But
So I like
anyway,
to do a little thing called this or that. Just I'll give you two things, and you just tell me which one you gravitate towards more, just for
yeah,
fun.
okay,
And we'll be
yeah,
wrapping.
yeah, sure.
All right. Are you an early bird or a night owl?
I'm an early bird, man. I'm up at
Okay.
5 o'clock every morning. Like tomorrow, I gotta work out, stretch, do my run, and then go to mass. Yeah, I'm early. I'm up. I'm up at 5 o'clock. And I'll
Yeah.
go to bed at. But I was always like this.
Yeah, me too.
I go to bed like at 8:30, 9 o'clock.
Yeah.
Yeah, I
I'm the
sleep
same.
better that way. I think I'm like an animal.
Yeah,
I'm
the Hart cousins, they were always night owls. As kids growing up, they'd stay up,
really
and I'm like 9 p.m. Like I'm tired.
wow,
But I've
wow.
always been that way.
Well, you're raising the kids too. That's a lot of energy you're doing too. Plus, you're
That's
working
that's
both
true. I love
jobs.
that.
Yeah. Keep
Hockey.
working out though, because if you didn't work out, you wouldn't sleep as solid.
Oh
That's a
yeah,
fact. Yeah.
yeah.
Working out helps you sleep.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Hockey fight or wrestling fight?
Oh, wrestling fight for sure. I love wrestling fights.
Yeah,
If they're real, they look the balls. They look the
totally.
balls. When
They're
I'm
not long
hammering
enough
on
for
when
hockey.
I'm hammering on John Studd at the Garden with those long, I mean, even though they're telegraphed like Hulk Hogan, all the wrestlers, the crowd went shithouse, especially if you got Studd. Every punch he's getting from the world's strongest man, the guy that benches 700 pounds, his head is snapping and his hair's flying. It's unbelievable. He
Yeah.
looks like a crazy biker. That was cool, man. That was like
Is that the
wow.
highlight of your career, that match?
That's it.
Yeah.
That's it. That's the best one ever. Yeah. And
Awesome.
thank God it became a TV match
Yeah.
because I wouldn't have gotten the evidence. They wouldn't have sent it in, people. But yeah, I mean, hockey fights are cool too, but it's mostly grabbing. I
Yeah.
like the
They
I
just
like
end
the
quickly.
I like the exaggeration. Yeah, grabbing and you're doing little punches. I don't know. That
And do
doesn't
you
sell.
follow hockey now religiously?
Not religiously, but I
You don't?
follow it though.
Do you have
Yeah.
your
Yeah, I'm
team?
psyched about the U.S. team winning. That was pretty cool. That was really good.
Okay.
Instill some patriotism back.
Boston cream or cannoli?
Boston cream pie. I love it. I love Boston cream.
Boston cream donuts are my favorite.
Oh, really? They get them
Yeah.
up that way, right? Yeah.
Hmm. A
Yeah.
Catholic mass or powerlifting meet?
Um,
Be a hard one for you.
yeah, I'll tell you, I think I owe it all to God. Ever since my comeback with my surgeries, I wouldn't be talking to you. If I didn't do my surgeries, I'd be dead. I'd be dead because, as you know, like I said earlier in the broadcast, if you can't move and you're over 50 years old, you'll be dead in a year. You'd be dead in a year.
Yeah.
So yeah,
Catholic mass.
I owe it to him. Yeah, and he's helping me with everything, and I want to honor him because when you think about it, he died for us. And I tell these people too. I talk to kids. I talk to other lifters, other wrestlers, and stuff. And Ted DiBiase was like this too. He did a good thing. He did a lot of
Yeah.
preaching,
Mm-hmm.
and I remember telling people. I just cut to the chase. I go, wait a second. Let's just put it all on the table. If you knew, if I'm telling you, Braun, there's this guy that took his life for you, would you love him to death? It's a no-brainer. So again, that's what God's all about.
Yeah.
That's what God's all about. He did that for us. He saved us. He's like the ultimate father. He's always looking out for you. And you could kind of put that in terms of your father, well, or even your other relatives that looked out for you. He's looking out for you And somehow it's one of those situations like, yeah, he was always there for me, you know?
Yeah, he's always there to lean on.
Yeah, yeah. So yeah, that's the biggest thing. I just cut it. I make it cut and dried right there. I go, if you knew someone was dying for you, okay, they gave their life for you, that died for you, a vicious death, a vicious murder, and he did that just for you because that's how infinite his love is. That love for you, for everybody, it's hard to put into terms, but he really died just for you. That's how it is.
Yeah.
How can you not love the guy? That's why I find it hard to believe that people don't believe in Jesus. You know?
Yeah. I'm
I see
baptized Catholic.
you have a cross too, huh?
Oh, yeah. Yeah, I'm
Yeah.
baptized Catholic. My mom
Oh,
is
good for you. Good for you. Good
my
for you.
mom's Catholic. All right.
Yeah,
So protein shake or post-workout meal?
good call. Post workout meal, but to supplement, I do the protein shake too, because you want to. After you do incredible upper body and lower body workouts with weights, as you know, and if you want to put on more weight, put on more muscle, I would say you want to pack as much protein as you possibly can, and definitely do the protein powder on top of your meal too. And I love my best protein. It's expensive, but I buy it. I love it. It's up your way too. Well, it's more on the Hudson Bay, that area too,
Mhm.
out near New Brunswick, out that way, the fishing villages. Snow crab meat. You ever had it? You ever heard of it? It's the sweetest, the coolest crab meat in the world. It tastes so good. And I always have, oh God, I eat like close to a pound twice a week of that after I
Mhm.
work out. It's so good.
So good. What's your go-to cheat meal?
Cheap?
Or
Oh,
cheat
cheap? Oh,
cheat.
Kentucky Fried Chicken. I love
Oh,
it. Yeah.
love the
Even though it's
store.
got some of the preservatives, but that and I still love the McDonald's cheeseburger. I mean, I'll cheat once in a while. It's good though. You got to help your head.
Yeah,
But yeah, I love the Kentucky Fried Chicken, the filet of fish from McDonald's, and I love the cheeseburger, double cheeseburger. Yeah,
love
yeah.
that. Is there anything you would like to promote before we wrap this up? Your Facebook page, any events coming
Yeah, yeah. I got the Ted Arcidi Google. I guess I get this. They set up a YouTube channel I got, and then I got my Facebook page. Yeah. So, and I keep telling you when
and of
stuff
course,
comes up, which is good luck, where I get my next acting gig or
any
something like that.
conventions coming up? Will you be at 80s Con in May?
I thought I was gonna, but I'm not gonna go to that one. I'm not gonna be able to make it, but I'm
Oh,
sure there's gonna be some others. I still might make Charlotte. I'm not sure. Yeah,
all
you
right.
gonna be in Charlotte for
No,
the
is that
gathering?
July, June or July?
That's in August, I think, usually.
Oh,
Yeah.
cool.
Now, is that something you work with the promoters so you could sell your gear and stuff?
Yeah, yeah.
I'm curious.
I do believe someone touched base with me about Charlotte, but that was a few months ago, so I'm gonna
Yeah,
have to
yeah.
get back in
Now,
touch with
you
them.
got a nice display and you got all the rights, right? For
Mhm.
their stuff to sell. And I
Yep.
saw all the gimmicks and stuff you got. And a lot of people talk about it, like the stuff. I'm curious, what do they charge you for a booth there if you want to do something?
It really depends. Sometimes there's no charge. Yeah, it just depends.
Oh, really? Okay.
Yeah.
And then and what's good is if it's a good enough promotion, you got people that weren't even wanting to see you, but they know you're there. They'll stop and buy your shit and they'll do your autographs and stuff, which is
Yeah.
cool.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and then sign that petition.
Oh, yeah, yeah,
The
yeah. No,
reason
you're
I'm
doing a
traveling
great
right
job.
now is just promoting that
So many
petition.
people respect for what you're doing, Braun.
Oh, thank you so
No,
much.
seriously, I mean, these old wrestlers and stuff, they all gravitate towards that, and what you're doing is good. And I think you do have a right, as I was telling your manager. Is it Andre? What's
Angelo.
Angelo? Yeah, good guy. Uh, y- I would push as many products as you can at this thing.
Yeah,
Invent stuff,
yeah.
because
We're
people
gonna have T-shirts. We're making T-shirts for the
gotta
next
get the
event.
t-shirts, man. Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. I looked online at some of these other wrestlers. I mean, they're charging $50 a pop for an autograph.
Yeah, I know.
That's I
Crazy.
I could see doing that at the
WrestleCon?
conventions and stuff like that. But like if people come in my store, if I see them at the airport and stuff, I do it
Yeah,
for free. But some of these wrestlers,
absolutely.
they get nasty. They want money. They want money pitches and all that. I still say I'm so lucky to be where I was because I had the opportunity. And these people paid for our pay-per-views, our T-shirts, our wrestling dolls.
Yeah,
So take care of the fucking fans.
yeah. Well,
How
I
long
had
is it? Is it about an hour and a half or what?
yeah, yeah, we're at an hour and a half, and
Wow, boy, it flies.
I know.
Oh
I
yeah,
had
I got another. I got to tell you, there's another movie I did at the end of September. We shot it in Jersey City with Cameron Diaz. I had a good part with her.
That's
That's
so
called
cool. Love her.
Bad Day.
I kind of have her haircut now. I just
You
got my hair.
totally look with everything. Your face, yeah.
Oh, thank
You
you.
ever thought of getting into acting yourself? I got to ask.
Um, More lately, yeah. Like now that I'm like, okay, once I get my
Well,
dad
have you
into
done
college,
modeling work at all or anything else?
not totally. I mean, I've done wrestling. I've been a wrestling manager for like 13 years.
Yeah,
So I mean,
yeah.
I'm just, I started my
That's gonna give you the
podcast.
confidence and stuff, though, right
Yeah,
there. And what
yeah,
you're doing here, it's a form of media. Um,
exactly. So I
nothing,
think that
not for
once I get
nothing,
my
though.
dad where I want him to, and I have to think about myself, what I want,
Yeah,
acting would be involved in that as well. Modeling, acting. Yeah.
I think you should do this. I think you should check out the acting schools or acting classes in the Calgary area.
Yeah. I've wanted to do like improv.
Because you know why? You
Yeah.
got the improv look. Obviously, you run a fucking show, okay? And you got a good look. You got a good look. It's a different look. It's a pretty look. It's a good
Thank
look.
you. Thank you.
And you look like you look like you could do a Cameron Diaz.
Oh, the
Talk
mask.
top top talk off the lip. Off the improv. Reactive. You seem
Yeah.
very reactive. I think you should check it out. You still got plenty of time. I didn't get into acting till I was in my 40s.
Oh, there you go. Yeah.
So
I'll be
you don't
32.
even look that, which is good. So they would like that.
Yeah. That's the beauty industry,
Well,
the
you don't
skincare.
look like you do much though. You get like a natural skin already
Yeah.
because you
Well, no,
work
just
out.
like just skincare. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah.
Lots of water.
Water's everything though, huh? Yeah.
Mhm.
No, check it out.
I
But
will. Thank
if
you
you
so much.
want, do another one. We could do another quick one, something when the movie comes out. It's going to be coming out this fall. If you want to do something,
Absolutely. We'll reconnect. I
or
would
just
love
have
that.
me on like a little promo or something. I don't know.
Yeah. Absolutely. We'll do something. We'll stay in touch. Thank you
It's
so
called
much for
Bad Day.
being.
Yeah. Okay.
I
All
really
right.
appreciate
Thanks a
it.
lot, you guys. Thank you for sending those questions.
Absolutely,
All right.
guys. Thank you for joining us in the Dollhouse today, episode 20 with Ted Arcidi. And don't forget to subscribe to X Brand Wrestling on YouTube and sign that Hall of Fame petition to get my dad into the WWE Hall of Fame. Thank you and see you next time.
Okay, guys. See you.